Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nofatia Farhani binti Yahwa. Today we will present about session hijacking for subject software and system vulnerability. Introduction of session hijacking. Session hijacking, also known as a man-in-the-middle attack. Session hijacking is a method of taking over a web server at web user session by attacker obtaining the session ID and act as the authorized user. Once the user session ID has been accessed, the attacker can act as the user and do anything the user is authorized to do on the network. Session hijacking is the exploitation of a valid computer session, sometimes also called a session key, to gain unauthorized access to information or service in computer system. In particularly, it is used to refer to the theft of a magic cookies used to authenticate a user to a remote server. It has particular relevance to web developer, as the HTTP cookies used to maintain a session on many websites can be easily stolen by an attacker using an intermediary computer or with access to the saved cookie on the victim computer. A, a popular method is using source road IP packet. This allows a hacker at a point A network to participate in the conversation between B and C by encouraging the IP packet to pass through its machine. If source routing is turned off, the hacker can use blind hijacking, whereby it guesses the response of two machines. Thus, the hacker can send a command, but can never see the response. However, a common command would be a set password, allowing access from somewhere else on the net. A hacker can also be in line between B and C using sniffing program to watch the conversation. This is known as man-in-the-middle attack. Type of session hijacking. There are two types of session hijacking. One is active, second is passive. Active session means that original user has logged in his account or profile, then attackers see the cookies to hijack the active session and then disconnect the original user from the server and take over. In passive session, attacker doesn't hijack the active session. Instead, they capture the login credential while the original user is trying to establish a new connection with the server, and attacker is sitting silently on the same network and record all the login. Session hijacking level. Session hijacking level have two levels: network level and application level. For network level session hijacking is particularly attractive to a hacker because it provides some critical information which is used to attack at application level session. Type of network level hijacking is TCP or IP hijacking, and second is IP spoofing, source root packet, and third, blind hijacking. Fourth is RST hijacking. Five is man-in-the-middle attack, and the lastly is UDP hijacking. For IP spoofing, source root packet. IP spoofing is a technique used to gain unauthorized access to computer, whereby the intruder send message to a computer with IP address that indicating the message is coming from trusted host.
Okay, thanks to my friend Fatia. Okay, my name is Muhammad Kizan. I will present next slides. Blind hijacking. In blind hijacking, an attacker inject data such as molecule code or command to interrupt the communication to host. Then attacker or hacker can send the data or command but no access to see the response. For RST or reset the connection hijacking, RST hijacking involves the injection and authentic locking reset RST packet, spoof the source address and predict the acknowledged number. The victim will believe that the source actually sent the reset packet and will reset the connection. Means that victim will believe that the packet have been reset, and it will reset the connection. That is made the packet sniffer. In this attack, the packet sniff is used to interface between the client and server. The packet between the client and server are routed through the hijackers host by two techniques: is Internet Control Message Protocol as ICMP and ARP spoofing. Means that attacker will interrupt between client and server to catch the session hijacking, to catch the ID, and with that it can log in any page that a client or victim that have been logged in. For application session hijacking level, in this level, the attacker gain the session ID to get control of the existing session or event, even create a new unauthorized session. Application level session hijacking include obtaining session ID, sniffing, brute force, misdirected trust. There are step to do session hijacking. First, place yourself between the victim and the target. You must be able to see the network, monitor the flow of the packet, predict the sequence number, get the connection to the victim machine, take over the session, start injection packet to the server. For example, for Wireshark, we can, when we enter the same network or same network with the victim, we can look IP address from the victim. With that, we can look and inject the victim by using IP. It's IP or session session ID that will be login. Then is a method use of penetration session hijacking. First is session pre-session, where the attacker set a user session ID to one known to him. For example, by sending the user an email with a link that contains particular session ID. The attacker now only has to wait until the user login. Means that a hacker or attacker will send an email with a link that victim will click in and log in inside. With that, attacker can go inside the login with that victim have insert that website. Then next is session hijacking, where the attacker uses packet sniffing to read network traffic between two parties to steal the session cookie. Many websites use SSL encryption for login page to prevent attacker from seeing the password, but do not encrypt for the rest of the site once authenticated. This allows attacker that can read the network traffic to intercept all the data that is submitted to the server or web page viewed by the client. Since this data include the session cookie, it allows his to impersonate the victim even if the password itself is not compromised. Unsecure web password are particularly vulnerable, as anyone sharing network will generally be able to read most of the web traffic between the nodes and the access point. Attacker will send the packet that victim has login by using IP that by using IP or using a tool such as Wireshark, Generable, Intercap. With that, it can using that it can capture the session ID, and with that attacker can log in to the user, login the user that has been entered. For cross-site scripting, where the attacker tricks the user computer into running code which treated as untrustworthy because it appears to belong to the server, allowing the attacker to obtain a copy of the cookie or performing other operation. For its alternatively, an attacker with physical access can simply attempt to steal the session key by For example, obtain the file or memory content of the appropriate part of the either the user computer or the server system IDS and intrusion prevention system IPS. Okay, there is session hijacking tools. First is Wireshark sniffing the packet. Second is cookie injector used to inject cookie from Wireshark. Third is Firesheet. There is Firefox extension. Four is Juggernaut, a network sniffer that can be used to hijack TCP session. It runs on Linux operating system. And five is Han, a program that can be used to listen, intercept, and hijack the active session on a network. Han can use to ARP spoofing, watching connection, MAC address discovery, any sniffing TCP traffic. It runs on Unix operating system. Uh, Next is a vulnerability that caused by session hijack when session hijacking happen. The vulnerability that caused session hijacking successful happen is insecure handling, weak session ID generating, less privilege, and no account lockout for invalid session ID. Okay, next is impact of session hijacking. Unauthorized access to the account, integrity data will be compromised, sensitive data disclosure, and data leakage. Okay, there's some way to prevent session hijacking. There is use a secure HTTPS protocol. Then use a VPN when connecting remotely. Protect access to your own method. Limit exposure to untrust networks. Educate the employees. Okay, for countermeasure is IP securing. Is a set of protocols deployed by the IETF to support the secure exchange packet at the IP layer. Deployment widely to implement virtual private network VPNs. IPsec support two encryption modes, that is transport and tunnel. The sending and receiving device must share a public key. Okay, for the conclusion of this topic, in this case of session hijacking, an attacker relies on the legitimate user to connect and authenticate and will take over the session. In a spoofing attack, the attacker pretends to be another user or machine to gain access. Successful session hijacking is extremely difficult and only possible when number of factors are under the attacker's control. Session hijacking can be active or passive in nature depending on the degree of involvement of the attacker. A variety of tools exist to aid the attacker in perpetrating session hijacking. Session hijacking could be dangerous and therefore a need to implementing a strict countermeasure. Okay, that's all for the session hijacking topic.